Alright, hey guys, so this morning we've got kind of a odd product here that doesn't have a whole lot of coverage out there. It's the First Spear Vertical Envelopment Pack, and what this is an attempt to make a plate carrier mounted backpack that's readily accessible by the person wearing the plate carrier. It's a drop-in fit on basically any First Spear product that has tubes for the shoulder straps, and you can see that right here. So these straps come with the pack, and it provides a second tubes mounting point that the pack attaches to. That was something that I didn't notice when I first picked this up. So what I had done is I had these made, and basically this will let it work with not any, but most plate carriers that have a Velcro adjusted shoulder strap. It provides the same tube mounting point that the replacement shoulder straps do, but it doesn't require you to use tubes for the shoulder straps. So that's an easy enough fix, and it wasn't a showstopper for trying to get the pack to work with my plate carrier. It also comes with a set of straps, so you can use it as a traditional backpack. You just attach these in a pretty straightforward manner. You thread it through instead of the tube shoulder straps up here, and then it ties off on the bottom, just like the old Alice frame shoulder straps. The other thing it comes with is what they call the rat strap, and basically this is just a pull handle to assist you in getting it up and over your head. I didn't bother routing that because I'm not going to use it on this plate carrier. So the pack itself is kind of an interesting design. It's got this massive beaver tail. I've got all the slack taken out of it right now, and it still fits a helmet, no issues. It's secured on the sides by these G-hooks, so it is fully removable. And then underneath you'll see there's a single row of MOLLE webbing, a slant pocket that runs the depth of the pack. There's a looped field there, and then the body of the pack is secured with tubes up here, and it's a roll top design. Now I typically don't mind roll top designs on larger rucks, but it's a little challenging on this one because they've got the mouth reinforced with some HDPE in there, and right now I just have 2 pairs of ABU pants in here, and it's basically at about the maximum on bulk, but stuffing those pants through this opening was almost a challenge, because you really have to keep it open with one hand, otherwise it kind of likes to close up on you, almost like it's got a Velcro or a magnetic closure up there, which it doesn't, but that's kind of what it feels like. There's no internal organization in there. There's no sleeve for a bladder. It's just one big open pack body in there. And then you can flip this up, and it's got some more MOLLE on the inside, as well as another pocket here that runs the length of the pack. The way this actually secures to the vest, so you use the shoulder straps that come with it, and you can see you can adjust where your tubes tie in. I've got it just about maxed for as small as possible, but it's got a lot of adjustment, and these straps are basically doubled up so they could get a lot bigger. I don't know what behemoth of a person would need to pay those out much more than they already are. And then on the sides there's a MOLLE adapter right here with some tubes and a webbing loop that comes around from the side of the pack, and that also is tightened up about as much as it could be before I start having to cut off or roll this up and tape it off. You can see there's plenty of slack there still, And what that's going to allow you to do is run that on top of your pouches that you have on your cummerbund. It is designed to go over those. Now, I took the shoulder pads off of this plate carrier to make this a little bit easier to see. But in theory, you can run it under shoulder pads. Just keep in mind that when you go to flip this over your body, you're taking out that slack. And the one challenge I've had using this is getting these straps to clear my helmet without issue. So if you have any kind of lights on the side of your helmet, or if you're running a camera of any kind, if you had any less slack than this, just be prepared that it's going to get snagged up on there pretty well. And if it's just Velcro holding it on, there's a good chance you might lose what's on your helmet. Now, one option that you can do, which takes a little bit more time to set back up, is you undo one shoulder strap and one side strap and kind of swing it around your body. But that does negate the ability to run this under your shoulder pads. So, pros and cons to everything. Now, looking at the pack again, if you look on First Spear's website, they don't have bad coverage of this by any stretch. You can wear this in either direction. So you can have the beaver tail towards your back, or you can have it facing out. Now that might not make a whole lot of sense, but the idea is, what do you want accessible when you flip it over your head? Because you've basically, you have the opposite readily available. So if you want the beaver tail easy to get into, you need to have it worn up against your back so that when you flip it over, it's on the outer face. So that's a little bit goofy, and it does not carry super well if you've got anything in the beaver tail and you're wearing it up against your back. As you can imagine, the pack is sticking as far off your back then as whatever you've got in there. And that's also where that side adjustment is going to come into play, with more of the bulk being on the beaver tail side. So, initial impressions, I don't really foresee myself hanging on to this and using it, mostly because of the MOLLE adapter on the side. On my JPC, which is what I got this originally to use it for, I have an elastic cummerbund, and short of having something else custom made to hang off the cummerbund flap, providing a mounting point, I can't currently attach that to my vest. And I don't really see enough value in the pack itself to bother going down the custom road anymore, especially since I don't like how this works out under shoulder pads, and I have shoulder pads on there as well. So the changes I would have to make in the vest to use this just aren't worth it to me. I think a traditional backpack would work just as well, if not better, and I'll deal with the straps. So that is the First Spear vertical envelopment pack. Hopefully you learned something about it. I will say, off First Spear website, they are $319. I would never pay that much in personal money for this. I did not. I bought it used for less than half of that, and at that price point, it's pretty doable. But again, if you're dropping this onto a First Spear vest, you've already got some pretty serious money invested in that. Most of their stuff is, over $300 just to get your foot in the door. So unit purchase, if it works for you, it's by no means a bad product. It's First Spear, so it's incredibly well made. This would be another thing, though. I would for sure want to get my hands on one and try it out before I invested in a whole unit purchase, because it is kind of goofy and it takes some getting used to. If it works for you, it's incredible. It's an odd mechanic to get used to, throwing that over your head and then trying to tie it back in. Not slow by any means, but it's not the most common sense process possible. So there you go. Hopefully you guys can throw me some likes or some comments. If you can subscribe to my channel, that'd be awesome. Gives me motivation to keep putting out these videos. Other than that, I appreciate your time and hope you guys have a good day.